In order to sync your grades from Canvas to PowerSchool, you first want to make sure your categories are set up correctly in PowerSchool. So I'm going to start in PowerTeacher Pro and go to Settings and then Traditional Grade Calculations, which will bring you to this page. I use total points instead of percentage. So for mine, I just simply go to the pencil and change this drop down to total points. I also do not have to worry about setting up categories because I use points. So I just assign the appropriate number of points to whatever assignment is. If you are using percentages, then you would need to set that up. You would click on the pencil. You would drop down and change to category weighting. You would choose which category you want to weight and then put in the weight that category needs to be. If you need to add a new category for weighting, you can click the plus sign up here and create a new category. But I'm going to leave mine as total points. Remember that PowerSchool is your final authority when it comes to grades. So as long as you have the percentages set up correctly in PowerSchool, your grades will be correct and you don't necessarily have to do anything in Canvas. I have never changed my percentages in Canvas. I just feel like there's too much room for error when you start trying to change multiple places. I always just tell students that Canvas is not the final place to look for your grades. If you want to know what your true grade is, to make sure that you go to PowerSchool to view that. So once you have everything set up in PowerSchool, you can flip over to Canvas. The first thing you need to do is go to your Assignments tab on Canvas. And you need to sync these categories that are on your Canvas page to the categories that are in your PowerSchool gradebook. I only have 2 categories. I have assignments and classwork. You may have many more. I grade on a point system, so this may look different if you're grading on percentages. You may have test, homework, classwork, projects, and so on. But I'm going to show you how to do this, and it would be the same no matter how many categories you have. So you need to click on the 3 dots menu over on the right-hand side. Click Sync SIS Categories. And this will show you the 2 categories that I have in Canvas, assignments and classwork. Right now it says they are unassociated. So I'm going to drop down, and these are going to be the categories listed in my PowerSchool. Now, because I grade on points, it doesn't really matter where I put these. I typically just put everything in classwork or test. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to put it in classwork. So what I've done is I synced everything in my assignments category on Canvas to my classwork category on PowerSchool. And I would do the same thing for each category that I have in Canvas. So I'm going to sync my classwork category in Canvas to my classwork category in PowerSchool, and then click Sync Categories. So once that's done and it says synchronized, you are set with that step in the process. So now when I refresh my page, I will see these symbols, and this symbol is what signifies that this category in Canvas will sync to your category in PowerSchool. And if you ever need to change where it's syncing to, you can always go back and follow that same process and change it. Or if you add more categories, you can do that also. So that's step 1. You have to have this symbol in the category group in Canvas where your assignments are. The second thing you have to have is you have to have the syncing turned on, and that's this button right here. So when I go to this button, I just click it and it toggles it on. This can also be turned on if you are in edit mode of the assignment. So I'm going to go to the assignment and click edit. Right here it says sync to SIS. So if I uncheck that, you'll notice it's now turned off again. So I can toggle that here or within edit mode of the assignment. So that needs to be turned on. So syncing symbol, turn on syncing, and then you must have a due date. Having a due date tells PowerSchool which 6 weeks that assignment needs to be placed. And so mine right now does not have a due date. So I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm adding a due date. And now that I'm back on my assignments page, I can see that there is a due date added. The next thing you need to do is actually sync your grades from Canvas to PowerSchool. You're going to do that by going to the Grade Sync option on the left-hand menu. You're going to go to Utilities. And you have 2 options here. You can manually sync your grades by clicking Remaster Grade Passback and then clicking Remaster Grades, and that will manually sync your grades. Or you can turn on the nightly sync and it will sync your grades every night, sometime during the middle of the night. Just be aware that while the nightly sync does work fairly well, there are times, especially at the end of each 6 weeks when Canvas is really bogged down, that option does not work 100%. It won't mess anything up. It just may not sync grades, and you may have to go in and manually sync those grades. But I would say it works most of the time. You can always check and see where you are in the process of having your grades synced by clicking on this history tab, and you can see that my grades are complete. So now when I go to Powerschool, I should see that grade that I just synced in Powerschool. If you get a caution message, you can click on it and it will tell you what did not work. Sometimes it's a little confusing, so if something's not working and you can't figure it out, just come by and let me know and we can take a look at it together.